guys, welcome back to Food Aspire Home and Garden. And actually, it's not Food Aspire Home and Garden anymore. I decided to go ahead and change my name. I thought we had a little cup of tea. You can bring whatever your cup of tea, you know, that kind of thing with you. Coffee, whatever. We'll have a little chat about some things that are happening on Food Aspire Home and Garden. You notice that Food Aspire Home and Garden is no longer Food Aspire Home and Garden. We are now Aspire the Simple Life, Janelle's blog. We changed everything. It's no longer Food Aspire Home and Garden. It is still going to be Food Aspire Home and Garden as far as the business aspect of things. Food Aspire Home and Garden is an LLC. It's actually just a way for taxes, honestly. And that's the way that I do things. I am still just Janelle, basically, which means that I'm still sitting here inspiring people and everything else like I want to do with this blog kind of thing. I am now going to start going over a couple things with the channel. I'm hoping to do a live when we get to 50, so that might be kind of fun. Can't do lives until you get to 50 subscribers. So I'm hoping some of you guys will sit and subscribe to the videos and kind of get to know us. I've been doing YouTube for about 3 years now. My channel got locked this year. So I'm starting over, and maybe it's a good thing because I have talked to some people and they had suggested that maybe I change my name because it's too broad of a name, and that it would be easier if I kind of just made it more towards, hey, this is Janelle's life and this is what she does. So we're not changing anything particular except for right now I am going to do Mondays is my time for the recipes, and then we are doing Wednesdays right now instead of Fridays for our DIY kind of like home renovation stuff. And then Fridays I'm going to kind of leave out for right now. Fridays we might do one other video coming up in the future. I'm thinking about doing either live video or maybe throwing in another garden video or something else. We'll have to kind of play it by ear and see what we're going to be doing. We might even do like little chit chat things, like for instance, like come sit with me for like a cup of coffee kind of tea time video, going over just different things that we're doing with the channel, stuff like that. You're going to notice in a lot of the videos, if you do watch this, that it will still say Food Aspire Home and Garden because that's the way that I videotaped them. And so I am going to keep the Food Aspire Home and Garden on some of this stuff. I may just do a voiceover and change some of that stuff because I did pre-record a lot of stuff that we are doing. So we still have lots of videos that I've already kind of say, hey, welcome back to Food Aspire Home and Garden, you know, kind of thing. So we're just going to keep that for now. We might change some of the food intros and other things like that, or I might change. I say we because it's the dog and I. That way, you know, you can kind of see that it's kind of changing. Over time, we might just do an intro for that one. But for now, we're going to say Food Aspire Home and Garden, even though it is going to be Aspire the Simple Life, Janelle's blog. Okay, and even I, after 3 years, have always said Food Aspire Home and Garden. So you're gonna have to bear with me until I get to get the verbiage down for my name change. I'm gonna have to leave little sticky notes or something, because you're gonna hear me go back and forth, because for 3 years I have said the same exact thing the whole entire 3 years. And now I'm like, let's change it. So that way I can do whatever I want in the videos, and I can, like, if I want to travel, then we can travel. If I want to do like home stuff, like for instance, all the DIY stuff that I want to do, or I want to paint, or I want to show you a really cool restoration project that's on furniture or whatever. So then it's not so, okay, it's already this one, and this one, which are those 3 things: food and home and garden. Then I can do more stuff. Technically, home was a genre of different things too, but I don't think anybody got that. So I'm changing it to specifics. That way it's a blog. And it's a generalization. So if I want to do whatever I want to do, then that's what will be on the channel. I think that will be a lot easier and understanding for also analytical purposes, for also YouTube. So that's why I changed it. And I think that, you know, this is a channel, this is my whole thing, is that this house is a kind of a background. This house is a 1982 house. And it is a house that had a lot of problems, lots and lots of problems. I have done so much to this house, and I've lived here for 14 years. The thing about it is that since I've lived here for 14 years, I probably should have done videos 14 years ago, because it would have shown so many things that I've already done to this house. It was a short sale, and I don't know if you guys know what that means or not, but some of you people who do real estate will probably know what it is. A short sale is basically where somebody takes a house and they can't afford to pay for their mortgage and their bills and stuff. So what they do is whatever's owed on the bank loan, that's what they sell the house for. So I got it for really inexpensive, but I was also stupid at the same time, because I also had to put a bunch of money down on this house to like do stuff with it. I should have been smarter, and I should have gotten a building loan and also a home loan for it. The other thing that was kind of weird is that the realtor actually did things really wonky. Like, not my realtor, but the other realtor. They put in that I was going to pay $5,000 down, which I did not agree to. And then they also put in that I was going to have a separate loan. I had to get a separate loan for that. So I had $5,000 down, plus I had $150,000 was for the house. So it was really a cheap house. It really was. And if you've ever lived in Colorado and you look at the fees right now, this house would pay, this house is a $400,000, almost $500,000 house. And it only has 2 bedrooms because of where it's at. So it's a really tiny house. It's only 990 square feet. But it's perfect for me and my dogs. I've had lots of dogs over the past couple years. So I've had trauma in my life. I've had all kinds of bad things happen in my life for some weird reason. I have this thing with karma. And so I try to put out good karma in the world so that I help people. Okay, that's what I do. I'm not trying to get any good karma back. I'm just trying to help people. That's all. And if my adventures and my life situations and everything else have helped other people, that is what's important to me. And so that's why I always say at the end of my videos. I hope you guys inspire to do something wonderful in your life, no matter what it is, and inspire other people to do something wonderful in theirs, because there's a lot of bad things in the world. And I feel like you have to be more positive in your life. I've had multiple bad things and multiple bad traumas happen in my life. And I feel like if I can get help and get past some of that stuff, I feel like anybody can. So that's what I do. I'm kind of a loner. I like to stay at home by myself. And I always like get involved into something in the house because it's something for me to do and something for me to get my mind off of stuff. And maybe this is a place where you guys can come and get your mind off of stuff too. Sometimes it's also a good idea just to get into some sort of a project. It gets your mind off of whatever is going on, even though you might be crying or, you know, really frustrated or whatever. But if you go out and do that project, it actually gets your mind off of stuff and gets you to stop thinking about all the, woe is me, this stuff is happening, why is this stuff happening to me, all this stuff. Because then it actually helps your mind recalibrate itself to think better. I guess I've had so many bad things that have happened to me over the years that I feel that if you try to stay more positive and have a better positive outlook on life, better things will happen to you also. So I want to put more good karma out in the world. I think that if you have a different change and a different outlook on things, I think that it really helps you to be a better person. And, you know, look at what your core values are and your, what the center of what is really how you are. And then everything else is like more of the surface stuff, you know, like, oh my God, my car has this. Oh my God, you know, this power thing's wrong. This. But if you can find a solution to the problem for now, then that always helps too. So I'm just here to kind of put some better positivity out there in the world, do something that may help somebody else. And I'm a hygienist by trade. I don't have hardly any background in DIY except for what I learned when I was a kid. We didn't have HGTV. We didn't have Food Network or any of that stuff. That stuff came when I was in early adulthood. So a lot of that stuff is like new. We didn't have cell phones. We didn't have all the stuff when I was a kid, which is kind of funny. But we had talked to a person and get them to help on your house project, or the kids would get involved on a project, you know, hey, you know, this thing needs to be moved or whatever. Or I would go and just watch my adoptive parents all the time and have them, they would do stuff and I would always watch and everything else. So it was kind of like learning that way versus, you know, we would have to go to a library, or you would have to know somebody who knew how to do it, and then you would follow along to do it. And then later HGTV came, and HGTV and Food Network and stuff were really cool. I really liked it, and that was the kind of stuff I would watch all the time, because when I was a kid, all I wanted to do was get out of my situation, get out of where I was living. I had a lot of bad trauma. I had a lot of bad abuse and things like that when I was a kid. So all I wanted to do was get out of it. So I would watch HGTV. I would watch the food channels later. And this was when I was going through school and stuff like that as early adulthood. And I would, you know, try to look into finances, which I'm not the greatest at lately because that's been a challenge. But you know what? I had to learn things on my own because there wasn't a whole heck of a lot of some of this stuff when I was a kiddo. Some of it was, some of it wasn't. It's kind of hard to explain, but I don't want to go into too much detail, is basically. I'm trying to keep this channel more like lively in a way. You don't want to hear all the bad stuff that's happened to me and all the bad trauma and everything else. But sometimes I do talk about it on the channel. A little bit. I have on my other channel a little bit more vague. I wasn't going to show my face as much on the channel and stuff like that because I suffer from PTSD. I just say be respectful if you do come up to me out in the real world because I do suffer from PTSD and I do have a service dog. And that kind of stuff just makes me really, really nervous. And if you come up respectfully, I can tend to be a little bit more quiet than I am right here on the video. And I'm a little bit more quiet because I've had so much trauma done to me in my life with people doing bad stuff to me to where it just has affected me to where I have to have a dog with me except for when I'm at work. That's a whole different story. And it's kind of like an actor being on their own play area, and doing their own thing, right? You go into work and you do an actor position. So I go into work and I imagine like it's, my stage. I'm meant to be this and this, and I am sincere about everything, but it's one-on-one, and these patients are awesome and stuff like that, but can't go into too much detail because I'll get in trouble. But anyway, we don't want to talk about dentistry on this channel. I am here to strictly talk about a different type of blog, having fun, that kind of thing, because I've been doing dentistry for 24 years almost. It'll be 24 years towards January time. And it's getting to the point where I'm challenged, but I'm not. I'm getting to the point where maybe I want to think about retirement because there's aching bones and everything else, which also has to do with fibromyalgia and stuff like that. So, maybe starts of arthritis, things like that. So, I would just say, just be respectful on this channel. And I appreciate positive comments. I appreciate constructive criticism too. Not to the point where I need to block you or something like that, because that will happen if it gets out of hand. Those are the things that I want to create a safe space for everybody to be in here. And maybe some of my experiences, somebody pops along, will help them in the future. And I'm not saying that everything that I do is an actual, this is the way of life, this is how you should be, and blah, blah, blah. This is just how I do things. Your way of life is your way of life, okay? I'm not here to say, hey, this is this way, you have to do it this way, and blah, blah, blah. No, You are your own person, I'm my own person, this is just how I am. It's kind of like we get set in our ways in a way, but sometimes you can't be totally set in your way because you have to learn new things, right? So this whole DIY, home improvement, some of the other stuff, I've been gardening since I was a little kid, okay? Way little. And I've lived in Colorado since the 80s. And so I know a lot about Colorado's soil and stuff like that, but I wouldn't say that I am like a master gardener or anything, because I'm not. I'm not a cook or a chef in any way, shape, or form. And I'm not a professional home improvement person. I go and get electricians, and I get people who know about my furnace and all that other stuff, because I have no freaking idea how to do that stuff. I can change a filter, Even on my car, I don't do stuff on my car either. I usually take it to the mechanic. So there are definitely things that I can do and things that I cannot do. I can paint a freaking wall, if you believe it, and I can texture a wall because it's not my first rodeo on that. I've seen it done in person, and that doesn't make me an expert, okay? I did not sleep in a Holiday Inn Express last night either, and all that stuff. That's a joke, by the way. But I can texture a wall. I can do a lot of things that you don't need to have a contractor be right there. You know, you can tile a backsplash. You can make sure something's waterproof, stuff like that. And you don't need to be a contractor for that. You can have somebody you can put in your own cabinets. And I did that too. So if you go back to my channel, Food Aspire Home and Garden, you'll notice that I have a whole entire area about stuff that I've done in this house, with painting all the cabinets and everything else. And they're still not done, and they still need to be finished. I did it in a really fast way, and you're gonna notice me slowing down a little bit more. I'm gonna take my time. You might see multiple videos or little short blurbs or long videos that are an hour and something long. You know, you'll see all kinds of things. Depending on the project, you may see the same project over and over again, but you know what? It's a progression of how many or how long this stuff takes, because this is reality, guys. This is not HGTV. This is not a hurry up, let's do a crappy way of doing things. Let's actually take our time to do stuff. Let's do it right, that kind of a thing. So I am going to do stuff that may not be right, because a lot of times I look it up on YouTube, and try to figure out with my brain what works best, what I think is proper. And sometimes I look at stuff like multiple times. Like, I have a whole list of things that needs to be done to this house, let me tell you. And you know what? Sometimes I go back and I see something else and I'm like, I should have done it that way. So anyway, that's just kind of a little bit of what's going on. Introduction of kind of doing a new channel and starting over again, because I got locked out of my other channel. Can't even get into my email or anything. Like, there's all these people who I was supposed to do stuff with, as far as like collaborators and stuff like that, and that's all messed up. But anyway, it's happened. It is a thing, and I'm gonna change things. So we're starting over. No longer Food Aspire Home and Garden, even though we are keeping the name. Might change it, I don't know. That does cost money to change it, so we'll see what happens. I don't know how much it is. I don't know. It depends on if they raise the cost of it or not. So we'll find that out too. Maybe we'll change it. I don't know. Maybe we'll just keep it the same. Just for tax reasons, that's all. Because it would be easier for tax reasons. So anyway, hope you guys inspire to do something wonderful in your life, no matter what it is, and inspire other people to do something wonderful in theirs. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. Don't work too hard, but I know you will. And we'll see you next time on Aspire the Simple Life, Janelle's blog. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend.